Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's August 29th, which means it is basically fall for me, okay? It's basically fall and I have so many good fall content planned out for you guys. I'm so excited. So for this month, we're gonna do things a little bit different. Let's just say it's September already, okay? Because literally it is. So I usually start off the months with my wrap up, then I do my TBRs for the month, and then I do whatever other content I plan on making for you guys that month. Well, this month is gonna be different because I want to sprinkle in a few additional fall content videos for you guys throughout the month. So we're gonna start off with September's TBR. I'm actually very delusional for the month of September because I have quite a huge stack of books ever. Like, I have quite a huge stack of books. I have 13 books. 13 books. Now, am I going to read all these books? I really want to, you guys, because they're all atmospheric. They're gloomy. Some of them have witches. Some of them have vampires in them. Some of them are rollover books that I didn't get to read in August that I would love to read in September, okay? A lot of them are parts of a continuation of a series, so you're going to see a lot of back-to-back books just because I'm trying to finish series this month, and also because they fit the fall aesthetic, the vibes, and they're so atmospheric within themselves that I must and I have to read them this month. Before I get into the video though, if you haven't already, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. That way you never miss one of my videos. And this month you really do want to subscribe to my channel because fall is my favorite season of all time. So I will be implementing and incorporating some additional fall videos for you guys. Okay, so I really want to begin the month with In the Company of Witches by Aurora Lee Wallace. I had this on my TBR last year, you guys, and I recently bought book 2 of this cute little series, and I really want to read this. I really want to get to it. And plus, like, look how cute this little mass paperback copy of this book is. It's so cute. This, all I know, is about witches, and also, not only is it cozy, but there's some emotional parts to this book, I've heard. Some people have cried during parts of this book, and that just intrigues me. Again, I have no idea what this book is about. It says, when a guest dies in the B&B she helps her aunts run, a young witch must rely on some good old-fashioned investigating to clear her aunt's name in this magical and charming new cozy mystery. I'm so excited to read this. I really hope I get to this book this month because I have to. I bought book 2 and I need to read it. Then we have The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I didn't get to this book last month. I just wasn't in the mood for it, but hopefully this month I will get to it because it sounds cute and cozy and charming. We know that this is about a witch and she possibly owns a library, I think, and she makes the sweetest jams, and she lives in this cute cottage in the middle of the woods. It also has romance in it. It has everything you could ask for in a cozy witchy book, and I'm here for it. I'm very excited to read this book, you guys. I'm so excited because this is just a continuation to this series, and this series for me has been literally a 5-star series. The atmosphere, the vibes, the eerie, spooky, dark backdrop this author puts in this series is perfection. Okay, perfection. That is Escaping from Houdini by Carrie Maniscalco. This is book 3 of the Jack the Ripper series. There's 4 books in the series. I'm going to be so crushed and sad when I finish the series because, again, these are historical mysteries with a little hint of romance in them, and they're dark, they're eerie, they're creepy in a sense of, like, not scary, but creepy enough to, you know, like, look over your shoulder type of feel where it's like not too scary, but you still are a little bit creeped out because of the backdrop, because of the atmosphere, because of the way that it's written. I love this series so much. It's a 5-star series. Both books have been 5 stars. Wait until you hear my my review on book 2. I had such a great time reading that book. That's all I'm going to say. Just wait for my August wrap up. This one's probably my least anticipated one, only because she's no longer in London. She's like going to America. And I mean, no offense to America. I live in America, but like that doesn't really like make me feel like it's going to be creepy, gothic-y with like a dark and gloomy atmosphere. America's not very scary. But when you take mysteries to other countries with a historical backdrop, I mean, that's all I can say. But who knows? Some people say that this is their favorite. I am gonna love it regardless just because of the way that this author presents, again, the atmosphere, the characters, the plot in each one of her books is just so good. I wouldn't say the series is a slow burn, but there's a lot of downtime in her books. Again, because her atmosphere is there, I don't care. It's written so well. I love the series. I love the series. Did you guys know I love this series? Anyways, this one's about Houdini. Beware of the midnight bargains. If you're not careful, you might lose your life, your very soul to this magical traveling show. So maybe even though it's set in America, it maybe could be still a little bit spooky and atmospheric because it's a traveling show. And every time there's like some kind of circus show or some kind of circus themed or show themed in books, they are always very eerie and gloomy and dark and atmospheric, and I'm here for it. Next up, we have The Coven by Harper Lee Woods. This is another book that I don't know if I recently purchased or I purchased last year that I meant to read last year, but I didn't get a chance to. And this is a steamy, witchy romance. I think it's about a witch and a witch hunter, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe a vampire. I don't know. It says, revenge. Raised to be my father's weapon against the coven that took away his sister and his birthright. I would do anything to protect my younger brother from suffering the same fate. My duty forces me to the secret town of Crystal Hollow and the prestigious Hollows Groove University, where the best and brightest of my kind learn to practice their magic free from human judgment. Oh, so this is a dark academia, witchy, steamy romance? There are no whispered words here, no condemnation for the blood that flows through my veins. The only animosity I face comes from the beautiful and infuriating headmaster, Alaric Grayson Thorne, a man who despises me just as much as I loathe him and everything he stands for. But that doesn't mean secrets don't threaten to tear the school in two. No one talks about the bloody massacre that forced it to close decades prior, only the opportunity it can afford to those fortunate enough to attend. Because for the first time in 50 years, the Coven will open its wards to the 13 promising students destined to change the world if the ghosts of Hollow Grove's victims don't kill them first. Teacher romance also? I don't know what this is about. I heard such great things though, and I heard it's gloomy, it's creepy. Now it's got a dark academia vibe to it. I can't wait to read this. So now let's move on to the books that are part of a continuation of a series that I started last month. And I'm so excited because I've been loving what I've been reading lately. I can't wait for my wrap up. I can't wait to talk about all the books, all the freaking 5-star reads that I have for the month of August. It's insane to me, but I'm having such a great time. Okay, so I want to finish this trilogy, okay? Am I going to? I don't know, you guys. I really want to though, because this series that I'm going to talk about right now has the best fall vibes that you can find. It's spooky, it's a little bit creepy, it's got romance, and the main male character in these books. Okay, so I want to read Her Soul for Revenge and Soul of a Witch by Harley LaRue. Now, I don't know what the name of this series is, but these are small town dark romance series about demons. All of the main male character or love interests in these books happen to be demons. And I'm just telling you, the first book, Her Soul to Take. Leon. When have I ever had a thing for demons? Okay, when? Anyways, I believe you have to read these books in order because it continues a storyline and you kind of get introduced to most of these characters in the first book. So I recommend you read them in order. Why wouldn't you want to read it in order? The first book in this series is phenomenal. I'm sure the rest of the series is going to be just as amazing. So Her Soul of Revenge follows Juniper and Zane is a demon, and Juniper sells her soul to Zane. And the books go from there. And these books, again, if I haven't mentioned, I think I did, they're dark romance books. And they have monsters, and it's always raining in this town. It's a small, dark, gloomy town. And there's a cult, and there's just so much. There's witches, and there's other creepy monsters lurking in the woods. Like, you guys, this series is the best series that you could read in the fall. It's so good. At least the first book was amazing. I can't wait to get to the rest of the books. And then this one follows a witch and a demon, but this demon, I think he's anti-demon. He's a demon god killer. He's probably the most powerful of them all in this series, and of course, she's a witch. I'm not gonna read you the backs of these because I don't want to give anything away, but please, if you haven't already read Her Soul to Take, you need to read it this fall. It is so good. And plus, the way that these books are like floppy and velvety and just matty feeling. They feel so nice in your hands. You can also find these on Kindle Unlimited, but of course I needed to physically touch these books and read along as I listen to the audiobooks, because if a book feels this good and the series is this good, even if it's on Kindle Unlimited, I'm going to buy it. And I preferably like to buy it before I read it on Kindle Unlimited, because then I feel like I've wasted my money. Even though already I've wasted my money because I could have read these on Kindle Unlimited. But once I read a book, I'm more hesitant to want to pick up the book trophies. Whereas while I'm reading the book or before I read the book, if I buy the physical copies of them, then I don't know. I don't feel as guilty. I don't know. Anyways, these are on my list this month. I'm excited. Then we have, of course, One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillian. Thank God that this is only a duology, because I have so many series that I'm in the middle of. And unfortunately, I didn't get to this one last month, and I really wanted to, because again, this is gothic-y and creepy and atmospheric and perfect for the fall. And the magic system is interesting. Nobody has ever done this kind of magic system, I've heard. It's everything. And I think it's about a girl and death. I'm assuming. It's about a girl and a monster. A beautifully dark fairy tale of blood, rage, and bitter choice that whisked me away to a mist-wreathed woods ripe with romance and menace. I'm excited though. I've heard great things. You guys have told me you've loved this series. I know I'm gonna be in good hands when I read this. It's one of those series, like, when am I gonna get to it? When am I gonna be in the mood for it? But I know that once I open the first page and I start, I know I'm gonna be hooked. The next 3 books I'm gonna talk about, 2 of them are part of a series. The book after that is a standalone for now, but it's kind of a continuation to the first series. And I was so bummed last month that I didn't get to read it, because I need to read this first series first. So for August, I did get to read book 1, and now I'm just continuing the series, and I'm having such a great time because, again, the vibes, the atmosphere, the backdrop of where it's set. I believe it's set in France, and I think it's historical. I could be wrong. So I want to continue this series, and that is, I forget, you guys, I'm not very good at like the names of these series, but these books are about a witch and a witch hunter, and there's a plot, and there's romance, and again, witches and covens, and there's also a church involved. Humans and witches don't like each other, and if you know, you know. That is Blood and Honey by Shelby Maharan and Gods and Monsters. This is book 2 and book 3. I read the first book, Serpent and Dove. I think it's called the Serpent and Dove series or trilogy. I read that book in August. I had a great time. That's all I'm gonna say. You guys just wait for my wrap up. I have such... I can't shut up about my wrap up because, again, I have such great books to talk about. But anyways, this is just the continuation, and I'm not going to go into it, but just know that these are supposedly these are YA fantasy romances about a witch and a witch hunter, and it's so good. So good. Although I don't understand why it's a YA, because there was a steamy scene in the first book. I have no idea why it's a YA, but here we are. I'm gonna read these this month, mark my words. Yes, I'm gonna read them. The main reason why I needed to get through that series first is because, unfortunately, you have to read that. Not unfortunately, because right now I'm having a great time and the first book was really good, but I had no idea I had to read that series first before I read this one. Because there's Easter eggs, and this is a continuation of that world. It's set in the same world, and it's a continuation of kind of that story following a different set of characters. That is The Scarlet Veil. This is a vampire romance. That's all I know. I am still in my vampire era, even though some of these books have nothing to do with vampires, but I still want to read a lot of vampire books with a gothic-y atmosphere, maybe a lot of dark vampire romances. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see if I stick to my TBR, you guys. But yeah, I really want to read this. All I know is that it's about vampires, and some people have raved about how good this book was, and it happened to be one of their favorite books of all time, or of the year even. So yeah, I really want to read it, you guys. I really want to read it. Let's see if I can get through the Serpent and Dove series first. Then I want to read A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is a polyamorous, dark, gothic romance about Dracula and his wives. One wife in particular, I think her name is Constanza. The story is told in her point of view and how toxic her relationship is with Dracula, and it's also written in diary form, so we get to read her diary in the story, and it's just her and her point of view, I think, and this toxic polyamorous relationship that Dracula has with his wives and how it affects his main wife Constanza, or one of his wives Constanza. This book is very short. I know I can get through this very quickly. I heard it's written so beautifully, and it's got the gothic-y, eerie vibes that you're looking for in the fall and in a Dracula book, in a vampire Dracula book. I'm so excited for this. A thrilling and seductive gothic rife with spine-tingling tension and dark romance. You guys, why haven't I read this book already? And then the last book that I want to read this month would have to be The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Why am I sleeping on this? You know why, you guys? It's because it's so damn thick to me. Have you seen my stack? My stack has, I don't even think there's a book in here that's under 400 pages. I guess maybe the first couple of books, but most of the books are over 300 plus or more pages. And this one is 491. I hope I get to this because I know I'm missing out on this story. It's about vampires, or there's trials. I've heard there's also one very great steamy scene in this that just the author outdoes herself, I think. I don't know. But I'm intrigued because, again, it's about vampires. There's trials. And I think it's about a vampire and a human romance. Human or vampire, the rules of survival are the same. Never trust, never yield, and always, always guard your heart. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm going to try really hard to read this book this month so that I can probably get to book 2 eventually and be that girl that, yes, I'm on top of all the popular books. Okay? And also, again, vampires, humans, romance, steam, trials. What more can I ask for? Okay, so there you have it. Those are all the books that I am planning to read for the month of September. Wish me luck that I get through all of these because these are the kind of books that I crave in the fall. Witchy, vampire, dark, gothic-y, atmospheric, just everything that I could ask for in a stack of books that will satisfy me for the month of September and for fall itself. These are it. I need to read each and every one of these books. So I'm just saying this because I'm trying to hold myself accountable and try my best to read these books this month because I feel like I'm missing out because I haven't read them yet. So there you have it. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will catch you on my next one. Bye!